Welcome to another edition of Big Board Battles. Today we have sort of a rematch here. The Undying Dynasties versus Highborne Elves at 5,000 points. You may recognize the Highborne Elf army from our last battle report. It didn't change too much. What you will see on my end, though, is a completely revamped Undying Dynasties army. Me and some forum members have been putzing around with some ideas, or had been. This is something I played a couple weeks ago. And we have hit upon what I feel is the current top tier Undying Dynasty army. And it's really hard for enemies to get a handle on this. It does have its weaknesses, but I feel in my current meta and how the Undying Dynasties are currently, that this is a top contender in list building. And it's what I'm going to bring to the Red River Rumble. That's going on next week. There's still time to sign up, so if you're in the Oklahoma City area, or even not, and you just want a vacation, sign up at the Red River Rumble GT, and it's in the forums. I'll leave a link in the YouTube report itself, and you can click on that, and it'll take you to the sign-ups. It'll be fun. You'll get to play this army. You get to play against this army there. So, without further ado, here we go. This is the deployment. Yeah, let me explain my army real quick. You'll see a lot of stuff on the table. That's because there's 5 units of Necroguard, 15 each, with paired weapons, a banner, and a musician. There are 5 groups of 15 skeletal archers, and you can see I'm using a lot of unit filler here. I just don't have that many models. I have 2 groups of skeletal scouts. Despite the lances you may see, those are actually really weirdly shaped bows. I have 2 sphinxes. I have 2, count them 2, groups of 2 tomb reapers with paired weapons. And I also have 2 catapults. And the piece de resistance of this list is the Hierophant, which is currently hiding in one of the archer groups. I'm not sure which. But this Hierophant is what makes this army work. It's not only the Hierophant, it's the general. It's the only character. It has a sandstorm cloak. It is a level 1, I believe. I might have been using it as... I go back before and forth between knowing 3 spells and being a wizard master, and knowing 4 spells and being a wizard apprentice. In the final list, I think I was a wizard apprentice with 4 spells. The points are very similar. I think you have to drop a musician if you want the wizard master version with 3 spells. But regardless, what it does is he has a sandstorm cloak, which gives him fly 7, and he just hops between the archer groups to give the march bonus and to prevent him from dying. Because one of the things that hurts Undying Dynasties most, and I think is a terrible rule, but they haven't changed it, is, and so we must play with how things are, not how we wish they would be, is the crumble rule, where if your Hierophant dies, your army starts to crumble. And so making my Hierophant highly mobile with fly 7 and so many bunkers that I can run to if I need to makes him hard to catch. And quite frankly, this list is a modified MSU gun line. It has 75 bow shots from the archers plus 10 more from the skeletal horse archers. It has 2 catapults, which just pulverize things and can panic low leadership armies. The 2 sphinxes are kind of like an anchor, and they can just, there's certain units that just can't deal with them. And then the 2 groups of tomb reapers are autonomous, allowing them to get behind the enemy and threaten war machines and threaten flanks. And the 15 Necroguard, the 5 groups, count them, 5 groups, so there's 75 of these guys on the table, are just so cheap for what they bring. Lethal strike and poison at toughness 4, strength 4, 75 models, yes please. And they're harder than you think to get through. My opponent has 2 groups of Knights of Rima, a lord of some sort on a chariot with, I think he's a lion prince or something, I don't know. He's got a bluffer's helmet. And he's a great weapon. And he's super annoying. He's got 2 eagles, I believe, maybe just 1. 2 of those light cavalry shooty guys. Large group of sword masters with a shaman wizard / BSB. 10 to 12 Queen's Guard and 5 Lancers. And it's going to be a good game. Stick around. Turn 1, he goes first. Oh, the scenario we're playing is hold the center, I believe. And it's also... Oh, no, it's scoring units. It's eliminating scoring units. It's the capture the flags one. I chose both his knights groups and his sword masters. And he chose my 3 center Necroguard units, I believe. And so yeah, I vanguard up. He goes first though. We start with the counter deployment, counter thrust, where we're max 18 inches apart, or we're minimum 18 inches apart, but we can go 18 inches up. And so that's why my army is so far forward, and his army is kind of forward too. So he charges my scouts that had scouted up, and he just positions otherwise. So he's hoping to crush that group of scouts, which he will, and overrun into my Necroguard. It's hard to see. They're kind of bunched up there. But I'm pretty happy about that because I got a lot of counter charges coming his way once he does that. So that is his turn 1. He shoots a bunch of stuff. A few skeletons die. That's a better picture of that charge. And obviously he eats them and overruns into the Necroguard, who are more than happy to hold them at bay. So, bottom 1, I countercharge with my Sphinxes, both of them. One's a flank, one is not. I just reposition my Tomb Reapers. I couldn't quite fit just because of the terrain and the rocky outcropping. One of my Tomb Reapers, who is a giant at this point, wasn't fitting, so we just knew it was there. We placed a marker. It's fine. I rushed up my other group of skeletal horse archers to just chaff up his sword masters. Oh, he also has sea guards back there that are shooting the crap out of me right now. Yeah, I charge at his shooty group to the right of the screen, but I think he flees, and so I test to I'm sorry, I test to redirect, and I redirect into the eagle, which also flees, so it's a failed charge, and those guys are just kind of out there in the open. Yeah, and I just kind of move forward in general. My shooting goes very well. Catapults combined with all the archers just eat that unit of sword masters there, and this combat could have gone better. I killed like 4 of his dudes, but he killed a crap load of my Necroguard. I win the combat, but he stays, and so that's not what I wanted. But it is. And you can see the Swordmaster unit on the top right of the screen. There used to be 20, I think 25, 24 there. Now there is like 7. It just wasn't a good day to be a Swordmaster. So top of 2, he charges in with his Lord on the chariot. It has a rule where it does multi-wound 2 to monsters, so that's going to be super fun to deal with. Yeah, and his Lancers charge the side of my Horse Archers, as well as his Swordmasters do that as well. And he, on the left side of the screen, charges into my Necroguard unit there, and that's not going to be good either. So yeah, and that is that. Okay, so we go to a better picture of that charge. We go to a better picture of that charge. And a better picture of that charge. During combat, here is what happened. I actually missed his turn 2, I believe. And so his turn 2, or no, my turn 2. I missed that, I believe. I'm not sure, but anyway, he eats this, but it's not on his turn, so he can't overrun. I eat that unit. I take a wound. I'd taken 2 wounds to the kitty, but it turned into 1 because of my magic. And yeah, this is a bottom of 2. I think we're a turn off here. I think this is actually my turn 3. Apologies. Sometimes I just forget to take a picture. It's my bad. It's my fault. I know. I charge with the Winged Reapers into the Lancers over to the side in the center of the screen, which had the Swordmasters and the Lancers had eaten my Skeletal Archers. The Swordmasters failed to overrun into the Necroguard, but the Lancers had fun overrunning into the Necroguard. The Tomb Reapers charge into those Knights of Rima on that side, and my lone kitty is fighting for his life against the lion prince there. My other kitty's kind of looking to support him if he can. Yeah, I shoot a bunch again. I think I panic the Sea Guard. It's either this turn or next turn. This combat goes really well. I don't think I take a wound, but I decimate him. This combat also goes very well. I eat the unit. My shooting just blasts off the rest of the Swordmasters, and he's left with his BSB/Shaman Wizard. And I'm super happy about that. Like I said, I eat this unit. I don't think I take a single wound in return. His Lion Guard, however, or his Lion Prince, destroys my kitty. It's dead. It's gone. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And it says turn next turn. I eat the Lancers, as you can see. Charge into his BSB there. And overrun. My Tomb Reapers do not overrun, and they decide to go up there. Yeah, so he charges in the side of those, and this is a mistake on my part. I'm positioning, because you see that overrun into that other group of Necroguard over there? Yeah, guess what's going to happen? Okay, so this is a picture of that, and he just eats those guys. He was over there. That's the second group he ate. He ate 2 groups of Necroguard in 1 turn, and that's exciting. Not for me, but for him. So, and now my kitty totally can't see him for the counter charge, and so that's a waste of a turn with a kitty. And yeah, that's annoying. His Sea Guard just shoot the crap out of my Necroguard over there, and so I'm reduced to 4 models. It's not good. I think it's bottom of 4 at this point. Once again, the numbers are off. I'm moving up with my Archer groups, which have been so far untouched, barring a wound here or a wound there, I think, from shooting. The Tomb Reapers reposition. The Tomb Reapers that killed those Knights of Rima come up and charge the back of the Lion Prince. And I wasn't sure I wanted to do this, but I figured if get a rear charge off, hopefully, break him to combat res. But I forgot he was stubborn against things with fear. And so that's going to hurt me. But one of the beauties of this list is I can lose a lot of units and still come out ahead. One of my catapults misfires and can't shoot the rest of the game. The other knocks off his Sea Guard. Panics it off the board. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. And my other group of Necroguard that were taking on those scout units and the Eagle just continue to press forward. Yeah. Better picture that charge. Better picture that failed charge. And this is what happens. I think he does a couple wounds to the Tomb Reapers, but he stays. Oh no, I charged his BSB guy with the Necroguard, and it was a failed charge because he ran and I couldn't catch him. My magic, I magicked them up to a good amount again. And, yeah, top of 5. Remember, this is not 4. I'm sorry. This is what it looks like. He's shooting, his Queen Guard are shooting at my Reapers up there, and they're hurting. They hit on like 2s or 3s. It's crazy. And his scouts get some balls and go around there and start shooting the shit out of my archer group. And he turns around, crushes my Tomb Reapers, but I don't pop, so that's good. And on my turn, bottom of 5, I charge in with my kitty. I charge in with the Necroguard. I'm going all in on this guy. I want him dead. Again, that Bluffer's Helm is such a hard thing to get through. He's a 1+, 4+, and toughness 4, only toughness 4, but having that Bluffer's Helm means any lethal strike I get, I have to re-roll, making it far harder to get through that armor than it needs to be for me. So it's a problem. My Tomb Reapers charge into his Queen's Guard. He kills one going in, but I have one with 3 wounds left, and he needs 6s to wound me. I'm confident. I think we're the same weapon skill, so he's hitting me on 3s because elves. And that's where we are. And I just kind of positioned to shoot the crap out of those scouts over there. A better picture of that charge. I take a... Oh, this is what happens. I kill one of the rows, and he does 2 wounds to me. He stays. And here's a better picture of what happens here. He kills a bunch of Necroguard. Does not break. And here is the top of 6. He doesn't have much to do. He moves over his eagle. I had killed his scouts with all my archers. And this is where we're sitting. End of game. My turn 6. He crushes the Necroguard unit that was there, and I think kills the Tomb Reaper too. My kitty survives. He only has his BSB, his like 3 Queen's Guard, I think, or 2 Queen's Guard, and the character in the Queen's Guard. His eagle, and that's it. And I have 1 unit of Necroguard up there that was busy chasing the eagle. My Hierophant, which rolled out to do an emergency buff on the Tomb Reaper, which I don't think went off. And yeah, all my skeletal scout groups are A-okay. And my kitty lived, so that's nice. But because he had so many characters left, it was actually a very close game. It was 11-9 on the points in my favor. Of course, I won the secondary objective. I killed more of his than he did of me. Or I think I had 1 scoring unit left that he chose. I think it's a Necroguard up there that he wasn't able to get, and I got all his scoring units except for the Queen's Guard. So I won the secondary objective, and it is an undead victory. 14-6. Guys, this list is a lot of fun to play. It takes some finesse, and you gotta be willing to sacrifice some units to get some counter charges. And it's dangerous if you position wrong, because as you can see, the overruns can really hurt you if you don't do it right. However, it's a blast to play once you get a hold of it, and once you get a handle on how things move, and realize that you're slow, but you're methodical. You'll get there eventually. Dance Macabre and some other evocation spells, actually will really help you. I didn't want to go high magic, but you kind of have to with this list, just to get some evocation off and have some threat spells, because the evocation spells kind of work with the Necroguard units, and they really help. Closing thoughts. Yeah, his magic didn't do anything. I have a lot of shooting. In fact, like I said, you got to really almost play this as a gun line. One of the big things to this list is knowing when to go forward and knowing when to hold back. Knowing what armies you can get in their face and threaten, and knowing what armies you really have to just let them come to you, rely on your shooting, rely on those catapults to really smash things. And that's what I apparently forgot to keep typing on that fourth bullet there. You need to know when to hold back and know when to push forward. So yes, you can tell my skills at making a battle report haven't really improved, but I hope it's been enjoyable. One of the weaknesses of this list is it's really, really hard for this list to deal with unless you get the Touch of the Reaper spell, and even then, it's really hard to deal with certain types of characters. And the Bluffer Helm Lord on a chariot is one of those things. Another type of character that will really give you problems is anything on a flying mount with a high ward and armor save, because your catapults really have to work, or you're just going to die. It's going to bypass your necro line, and it's going to be difficult to deal with. Besides that, there's not much this list can't outshoot. It's not much this list can't outmaneuver. Well, I wouldn't say outmaneuver, but outplay. Getting those counter charges is very, very important. You have 10 scoring units. You're going to win the secondary objective unless it's something silly like capture the flag. But 3 out of 5 of the scenarios, you're really doing well on it. And even capture the flag scenario, it's harder than you think to eliminate all those Necroguard. You really got to commit to it. And once you do that, the kitties get in and the other things get in that really make you work for it. It's a fun list, and I hope to see you guys at the Red River Rumble GT. I know it's kind of a jog, kind of a trip for a lot of you, but it'd be super fun to actually play you in real life, and maybe you can be on a battle report. Who knows? Not that these are great, but I hope you're enjoying them. Hey, thanks guys, and I'll see you next week. I got a lot of reports that are backlogged here that I gotta rush up on. I have some Warrior of the Dark Gods reports too, for those of you who like those guys. My list there. I've been messing with a double Hell Cannon list there that's doing really well. But here you go, man.